Hello, so last time on Instagram I posted a different kind of papier mâché, which was not with paper but with egg cartons, and I got a lot of questions. So this time we're going to put it on YouTube. So you start with just an egg carton, and then you can cut them as small or as big as you want, and you leave it with enough water to really moisten it like this. And I put it like a couple of days, one day, overnight. Overnight is fine, but like this one has been here for 2 days, okay? Then I just mash it enough to make sure that the water is absorbed. And then I take all of this and I put it, this Ninja I have, I don't make food anymore in this. I just use this for arts and crafts and stuff that are not edible. So put it here. Sometimes it needs more water, sometimes it doesn't. I have here a little bit of water because we can always take the water off. So I turn this on and okay, you want to make sure that the big part again are here. You give it another try, another go. And every time you do it, it gets a little bit more smashed, and I think this one is ready to go. Let's give it one more whirl and we go to the next stage. That's it. Okay. So now we take this out and we dump all of it here. It's really a fun project. You can do it with kids when, well, I know the vacations are over, but during vacation or during off time or on weekends, it's really a really fun way of spending time with your kids. Okay, at this point, you see what I'm doing? I'm taking the extra water off. I'm really squeezing it out, all the bits and pieces. The extra water in here. Okay, so now we have this consistency. Some bits and pieces are bigger, but it doesn't really matter much. Okay, then we take, for an egg carton, we take like half a cup of flour maybe, and we pour it on the top, and we knead it as we knead like our dough, basically. So if you're good at kneading dough, and this is the fun part, to give it to your kids to do. Oh, and don't wear don't wear a ring like I'm doing. Wrong thing to do. Okay, you see how it's coming together? Okay. This one may need a little bit of water, so what you do, I guess I squeezed it too much. You just put water in it and keep kneading it. Okay, once you do that, you take whatever bowl you have. Here I have the dried ones, so I used like an old ashtray. You see that? And I dried it overnight. and a Japanese sake, an old Japanese sake, and you're going to see what we're going to do with that. I take my saran wrap and I put it on top of this. You don't want to make it too thick. I made one, the one I showed on Instagram, in my opinion, was too thick. So you really want to make sure that you don't make it too thick. And how you do that, you really use it. I'm gonna get rid of this stuff so you can see. You really use it, use your fingers to feel the space and make sure that it's not too thick. If it's too thick, you can also use, I have this tool because I'm Persian, but we use it for meat. But if you don't, you just take as needed to fill the holes and to take the shape of this bowl. I'm going to finish this later only because I want to get to it. And then you leave this in the sun a day or two, then you take it out, you dry the other part, whatever. So once you are done with that, then the fun part starts of doing the decoupage, so to speak. So you take this and you can do two things. You can either paint this with white acrylic paint or paint, or do the decoupage. Now, I used this last time. You separate your napkin. I bought this paper only because it was like a little bit of Persian. This was Japanese and this was Persian. I've never done it with this, but somebody told me you can do it. So I'm gonna try it for the first time with you guys here, but I'm gonna start with this one. So take my brush, like a regular brush. This is better for this. My hands are, excuse my hands, they're all dirty. Not dirty, they have the dough on top. So you take mud podge, and you dip it in. I'm gonna start with the inside. You want to be patient to fill the holes because it's an uneven surface, so you don't want to not cover any areas. I really look, and with the tip of my paint brush, I want to make sure that everything is covered. Then I eyeball with my okay. So now I eyeball like the area I want. I don't want to use the whole thing, and we always have room for correction. That's the good thing about this. So I take this, put it on top, and I just go all over it. And like magic, it all fits. Okay, we'll get back to this side again. I just turn it back and repeat the exact same thing on the back. Right? And these bowls are, people are asking me, so let me answer the questions I've been asked. Can I wash it? It becomes very sturdy because of the flour that's inside, the starches and the carton. However, you cannot wash and reuse it. You can put trinkets in it, you know, you can put it by the door when you put your keys, or, you know, by your bedside, you can put your pills in it. You know, you can do many, you put your rings, you give it as a gift to someone. I've given it as a gift, people really appreciate it. But no, you cannot wash it. So then I do exact same, I repeat this procedure on this side. Really cover it well. Okay, then we turn it to the side I started with, and now we do repeat. So the mud podge gives, when it dries, it gives a luster. It kind of gives this really good finishing look to it. Trust me. And once you master this, I give you another trick. Or should I leave that for our next video? We can do something else with it. Okay, I'm not telling you. We can do something else. Okay, so for the finishing touches for the sides, I like to let it dry and then do the cutting, do the finishing. If you have like a silver or a gold paint, gold leaf, or marker, you can finish with gold. I turn it now to this side and repeat again the same process. Again, the trick is to make sure now, once you have a cover with Mod Podge, you are not sure that everything is covered. You really have to look very closely and make sure that you are not leaving any dry areas, nor do you want to put too much Mod Podge. So it has to be really covered evenly, and voila. So we leave that, we leave it to dry outside in the sun. Today is not a sunny day, but that's what we want to do. And for this, I really repeat. Should we try one? Okay, so with the decoupage paper, we did wet a little bit the paper to be more pliable. And we repeat basically, so if you use decoupage paper, we're gonna see. I think with the decoupage paper, because it's more papery than napkin, and I really like the theme and the paisley pattern. I think my other one is gonna be more Japanese, and this one is gonna be more Persian. Okay, so we again are doing all the sides, and make sure if you do on your countertop to have one of these IKEA type plastic cutting boards. Okay, so we are going to take this, put it on top. Now this one has corners, guys, so I'm bringing these corners in. Let me first cut this side. You have to be kind of good with your hands and handiwork, because when it has corners, it's not as easy as the other one. So I want to see if I can fold this. Yeah, it's difficult to cut the corners. I'm going to fold here and here. It's better if it's not doubled up, but we're going to see. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of Mod Podge here. Not Mod Podge. Here. Yeah, it's definitely, the paper is so thin that I have to focus on this so much so it doesn't tear up. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? I am going with the flow here a little bit on these two sides and making sure that I really cover it well with the Mod Podge. Okay, now because you cannot leave it down like this, I'm gonna hold it. This requires more skills, because you're doing two things at the same time for the borders. So I'm doing the inside, if the camera can see it well. And once the sides are covered, I am going to bring down the borders. Okay, we're bringing down the borders. Borders are down. This side is up. Now, obviously, we need to fill the inside. If this is difficult to do, which is even difficult for me, you can Mod Podge it, leave it as is, like that, and then we can paint the inside a turquoise or a white or something. For the time being, I'm gonna leave it just like that, and we can come back to the next level.